Hello, all my beautiful heart healers and all my amazing listeners. This is Harayeth. I hope you guys are doing great today. It's another pretty day today. It's a little cooler this morning. Mother Nature had a surprise up her sleeve, apparently, and she decided to give us one more little remembrance of winter. We had like 70 degrees yesterday, and it was so nice. And this morning we had a freeze watch. Our little birds in our trees are probably like, what the hell's going on? The birds are probably like, what, we came back for this? But it's not too bad this afternoon. It's a little cool, but it's warming up, and tomorrow should be a little bit better. But so I had an interesting week. I got hit by a sweet little grandma earlier in the week, and we had like really bad traffic, and there were like some accidents on the interstate and stuff like that. And so I guess they were all, diverting off to the regular roads, which is what I was on, just basic highway. And we were there doing road work too, so that never helps. Everybody was trying to squeeze into one lane. And then we got past the road work, and it, looked like things were more or less normal, except there was a huge influx of traffic. And so I see this car on my left, and she starts edging into my lane, and it's like, she's trying to share my lane with me, and I was like, hello, and so I started, laying on my horn, and she, I guess, didn't hear me, didn't see me. I was in her blind spot, and I thought, well, here we go, and I just braced for impact. And I just got this little car back in September, so I was like, no, not my new car. But she was as nice as she could be. I mean, she acknowledged that it was her fault. And we just made pleasant conversation while we waited for the cops. She asked me if I knew any of her ancestors, and we talked about the weather and how pretty it was. I mean, just... and then she shook my hand afterwards. She says, well, it was really nice to meet you. I'm sorry it was under these circumstances. And she tickled me, though. She says, I am 78 years old, and this is the first accident I've ever had. So bless her heart. But yeah, it was interesting to say the least. And I was a little shaken up, but it surprised me because I was a little calmer than I thought I would be. But I told her, I said, I'm not angry or upset or anything like that. Things happen. We have insurance for a reason. And as long as nobody was hurt, that's the main thing. So that's how I look at it. But anyway, hopefully your week was less eventful than what mine has been so far. And I will apologize to you in advance. I think the allergies have gotten to me because my voice is like, for the past couple weeks, it feels like it's going to go. My husband probably wishes it would go. But it's still hanging on. So if I sound a little raspy or something, that's what it is. But today, what I would like to talk about it's about the journey. So you think about life and the things that you go through, and a lot of people have the mindset, and I guess it partly depends on your religion and stuff too. But a lot of people have the mindset that it's all about the ending, and which opinions are like belly buttons. Everybody's got one. But I'm of the opinion that it's about the journey. It's about how you live, what you're doing while you're here. I believe that we're not necessarily just human beings having an experience. I believe that we are spiritual beings, and we're having a human experience. I believe we're here to learn, here to help teach others, here to learn things ourselves, to be as much of a light as you can in whatever way you can. And it's really all about trying to enjoy this journey and be a help to others while we're here as much as you can be. But anyway, back to our subject today of enjoying the journey. So if you think about some of the things that you do in your everyday life, you can kind of ask yourself, are you living with the mindset of trying to make the most out of each day? Or are you just kind of trying to hang on till the end? because how you look at that is going to color the entire way that you live your life. You know, if you live it with the idea that you're just trying to survive it and just hang on until you're 100 years old or whatever and drop off the face of the earth and there's nothing more, then your quality of life is going to be much different than if you're going along and trying to get the most out of it. It's kind of like the difference in a child who is skipping through a meadow of flowers and enjoying all the beautiful varieties and fragrances of the flowers, and maybe even picking a little bunch and just really truly enjoying and being in that moment, than someone who's like, I've seen those flowers before. I don't need to see them again. I know they're there. And, you know, I'm just waiting until they all die or something like that. But it's just something that I think is a nice way to look at your life. And you can learn a lot. We learn a lot from each other. You know, there's not one of us here that is all-knowing, that's all perfect, and we know how to do it all. I learn stuff new every day. And, you know, I'm willing to admit that there's a lot that I don't know. And it's nice to, you know, when you do come across some new information and you can process it and like, okay, yeah, that's cool. It makes sense. Or even if it doesn't make sense to you, you know, it's fine. But you want to make sure that you are living your best life. I don't mean to sound cliche, but that's true. You know, if you have something that you're wanting to share with others. And by the way, I'm sorry if I sound tired. I worked a long day today, and we've had some long overtime weeks and stuff like that. And I really want to do this podcast today, but it's like I'm pooped. I'm tired, but it's like my brain's like, yeah, let's do it. So it's like I wanted to strike while the iron was hot, even though I'm a tired iron. I still want to do it. So if I sound tired, I'm sorry. But anyways, yeah. So just try to live your best, you know. Try to wake up each day with the excitement like a child, you know. Think of it as like, what if this was say it was your first day here on earth, which you would probably think, dang, these people are crazy. And that would probably be a true statement too. But there's, aside from the craziness and some of the bad stuff that is going on definitely in our world, try to look at some of the positivity too, because I don't mean to, you know, you don't want to disregard the negative. You have to be aware of it, because we do have to live here. You have to be aware of the negative. You have to stay away from it. You know, try to change what you can. And I have a great respect for everyone who does that in whatever way they do it. But by the same token, you don't want to, you can get so wrapped up in that you are living it, and you don't want to do that either. You kind of want to keep a balance if you can. You want to know enough about the negativity to be aware of it, change it, do what you can. But you also want to realize that there's a bright side too. There are good things. There are good things in life. There are happy moments. There are, you know, there are things that are worth living for. There are things that are worth experiencing. And there are things that are worth the journey. So when you're going about your day and you find yourself kind of getting bogged down with work or with people around you or things like that, remind yourself that you're not just here having some human experience and then you're just gonna like get through life and die. Think of it as exciting. Think of it as a chance to learn new things and do new things, and, you know, find out what you can do next, what things you can learn next, or what people that you can maybe try to be a help to, and concentrate on that, you know. It's about your journey, because, you know, people, when they get to the end of their life, they don't think back and be like, oh, I wished I'd made more money. I mean, imagine someone like on their deathbed. They're not thinking that, I wish I made more money. I wish I had a bigger house. I wish, wish I'd done more traveling. I guarantee you, probably the number one thing on most people's minds is they wish they would have maybe enjoyed their families more. They would have maybe found love. They would have taken the time and the care and the consideration to care about someone besides themselves. And, because when you really get down to it, that's really what it's all about, is love. It's about showing that love and receiving love. When you receive love and you give love, it's the most wonderful thing in the world. And yes, I'm one of those people that says love makes the world go around. It's true. I do think that. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I think there's always room for love. And there are many types of love. I don't mean like necessarily romantic love. Romantic love is wonderful. But so is the love of a friend, the love of a pet, just the love that you have for someone who is in need. There's lots of kinds of love. But think what this world would be without it. It would be terrible. It would be a terrible, dark, ugly place. And there are a lot of very ugly places in this world and a lot of very dark corners. But there are still a lot of bright spots, too. There's a lot of candles in this world. And you're listening to this podcast, you're a candle. You are a bright light in this world. You're a bright spot. No matter what you do, no matter what you bring to the table, what you're trying to accomplish in life, the point is you're trying to accomplish, you're trying to help. You're trying to show that love in whatever way that you've been called to do. So you are a light, and thank you for being that light. So this is not going to be a very long podcast. Basically, that's just all I wanted to say, is I wanted to remind everyone to be mindful that it is about the journey. It's about enjoying your journey and loving your life as much as you can and doing what you can with it to help people along the way. To be a light for somebody else who might be stumbling along a dark path right now, and maybe you're the only one they see. Maybe you're the only one that has the flashlight, and you're going to help them follow in your footsteps to help them out too. So, all right, guys, I'm sorry this wasn't very long. I just want you all to know that I love you and I appreciate you so much, and thank you for listening. Thank you, everybody. And next time it will be a longer podcast, I promise. But this is Harriet signing off, and I will talk to you guys soon. Love y'all. Bye-bye.